week 9 of the fantasy basketball season. And here's a few centers I would drop this week. The first guy, Demarcus Cousins of the Milwaukee Bucks. So a lot of people went out there quickly to the waiver wire a few weeks ago when Cousins signed here with this Buck team. And hey, it's a good depth move, no doubt about it, for this Buck team. But as far as fantasy basketball, he's not playing enough, and he's not efficient enough to be on rosters. On the season, 4.4 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and an awful 33% from the field here for Cousins. So right here, the last few seasons and the games he's played with Houston, and then last season with the Clippers, his field goal percentage definitely dropped off a lot here as Cousins. And right now, he's only playing about 13, 15 minutes a game with this Milwaukee Buck team. He was more of a depth move than a guy who's going to come in and play 25, 30 minutes a game here with Cousins. His best days are behind him, where he's averaging 23 and 11. That's just not going to happen anymore. But as a real-life move, I like it for the Bucks. But fantasy, there's no reason to have him on your team. He's just a name at this point. So the last few games from December 10th at Houston, no points, no rebounds and assists. December 12th at the Knicks, no points, 4 rebounds, a steal. And December 13th at Boston, 6 points, 3 rebounds, and assists, a block, and 2 threes, 50% from the field. So right here, a lot of empty stat lines he's going to have, a lot of inconsistent nights, and he's just not worthy to be on fantasy rosters, is Demarcus Cousins. And like I mentioned, he's just a name at this point, so I would drop him this week. The next center is Steven Adams of the Memphis Grizzlies. So about Adams a lot this season here as a guy to have on your roster, then the next week to drop him. And he's another guy not playing enough minutes, only 20, 23 minutes a game here for this Grizzly team. And on the season, 6.9 points a game, 8.6 boards, 2.6 assists, and 52% from the field. So right here, the rebounding and field goal percentage is good here for Steven Adams, but he's not going to score. He's not going to block shots. Obviously, he's not going to hit the 3 ball. And the assist for a center, decent at 2.5. But he just doesn't do enough here to garner a roster spot anymore, in my opinion, in 10 and 12 team leagues. And right now, owners have dropped him in 6% of leagues. So the last few games here for Adams. December 9th versus the Lakers, 4 points, 13 rebounds, 2 assists, 33% from the field. December 11th versus Houston, 6 points, 9 boards, 3 assists, 75% from the field. And December 13th versus Philly here, 6 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, a steal, and 60% from the field. So right here, the numbers haven't been great. I know the rebounding has, but besides that, he's really not doing much for fantasy owners. So right here this week, he's an easy drop. If he could put up bigger games and play more playing time, then I would say go back out there and get him. But right now, that doesn't seem like it's the case. And I would drop Adams this week in the third and final center. I would drop this week's Dwight Howard of the Los Angeles Lakers. So Howard, he was put into the starting lineup a couple weeks ago here for DeAndre Jordan, who was struggling. And I thought Howard would show things like he did last season when he filled in for Embiid when he was banged up and out of the lineup for Philly. But Howard this year, he just hasn't been that guy. 5 points a game, 5.4 rebounds, and 62% from the field, which is a great percentage. A lot of dunks and putback layups. But the stat lines have been non-existent and non-fantasy basketball worthy as well here for Howard. December 9th in Memphis, 5 points, 3 rebounds. He did add a 3, though, 66% from the field. December 10th at the Thunder, 1 point, 8 rebounds and assists. And December 12th versus the Magic, 5 points, 4 rebounds and assists, 3 steals, and 2 blocks, 50% from the field. So right here, he's only playing about 15, 20 minutes tops, is Howard. And I thought he was going to be a good player this season for fantasy basketball. But obviously, the Lakers have so many good players on their roster that guys like Howard and Malik Monk, who I mentioned in my guards to drop video, are just going to be inconsistent and not going to be good for fantasy basketball. So right now, I would obviously drop Howard this week. So that's a few centers I would drop here for week 9 of the fantasy basketball season.